Howdy, my name is Zach Bobo, and this is my college car. It's a 1991 Ford Ranger. Bought it from a farmhand. It's 66,000 miles on it. Now it's got like 96, and it's my piece of junk. Love it. It gets me to point A to point B.
Danger Ranger. Hello Internet, and welcome to another episode of College Cars. This time I'm featuring my friend Bobo's 1991 Ford Ranger Super Cab. He's a mechanical engineering major at the University of Alabama, and his Ranger has a 4-liter Cologne V6, I think. More on that later. I do know that the transmission is a 5-speed manual. The reason I'm not entirely sure which V6 Bobo's Ranger has is Ford offered 4 different V6 engines throughout only 9 years of production in the first generation Ranger. Further complicating identification, Ford offered 3 different V6s in the last 4 years of the first gen. So why do I think it's a 4-liter? Simple. I looked at pictures of Ford V6s on several different Wikipedia pages. If in fact it is a 4-liter, it made 155 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque. Not a lot of horsepower, but enough torque to move the little truck around. Okay, now that my excuses are out of the way, let's move on to the transmission. Fortunately, transmission ID is much easier. There was only one transmission offered from 1989 to 1992 in the Super Cab Ranger. It's a manual, Mazda's M5OD-R1 to be exact. Those letters and numbers decode straightforwardly to manual 5-speed with overdrive. That's the nice thing about later transmissions. The letters and numbers usually mean something. Ford-O-Matic and Turbo-Hydromatic sound really cool, but they don't tell you jack crap about what is happening other than there's no third pedal. The M5OD was actually somewhat revolutionary thanks to its patented synchronized reverse gear. The Ford Ranger is one of those rare vehicles that, in my opinion, looked better every time its design changed. Of course, some of the later ones have reputations for being hot garbage, but I'm just talking about looks right now. The earliest Rangers looked like bad scale models of the same era F-150s. The facelifted first gens don't look great, but they do benefit from a grille that doesn't look as much like a sewer grate. The second generation Rangers have the best parts of the late 90s F-150s, without the bloated look they often have. That being said, the Ranger enjoyed a 29-year production run in the United States, and it's still being made in various places around the world. It's also projected to come back to America for the 2019 model year, and to be based on the current generation International model. Like all new cars though, it will be bigger and not necessarily better. Like the new Colorado. Sure, more capable and probably built better, but it's not as affordable as a good old-fashioned compact pickup. Bobo also has a 78 Firebird that is a bit of work in progress right now, and his dream car is a GMC Sierra. In other words, he's the only person I know that drives a Ford who's actually a Chevy man. It's still a truck, but a modern GMC is still light years ahead of an early 90s Ranger. For one, they probably weigh nearly twice as much, and GMC interiors are more similar to a new Mercedes than 25-year-old pickup. That's part of the reason I don't like GMC, but that's a story for another time. Back to the Ranger. If it doesn't have a 4-liter Cologne V6, it could potentially be a 2.9-liter Cologne V6 or a 3-liter Vulcan V6. You could also get a 2.3-liter Lima 4-cylinder in 1991. The earliest Rangers had optional diesel engines that had abysmal horsepower, as well as smaller versions of the Cologne V6 and Lima Straight 4. 5 different 5-speed manuals, a 4-speed stick, 2 3-speed automatics, and a 4-speed auto were offered throughout the first generation of the Ranger. That's one thing that makes Ford hard to love sometimes. They just couldn't stick with something most of the time. Of course, the 5.0, or 302, is everywhere, but it's the exception, not the rule. Now that I've ruffled some Ford fans' feathers, I'll sign off. Thanks for watching.